Hey guys, it's Hadijah. Welcome back to Hadijah's Life. I know I've been gone forever.
2,000 years later.
And you probably didn't even expect me to come back to YouTube, but surprise!
Oh my God!
Wow! I know it's been a hot minute. Happy New Year, even though it's February now, but still, Happy New Year. I hope your new year has been off to a great start, even though we're still in this panoramic, aka pandemic situation, but you know, I'm praying that everyone's doing well. This is gonna be like a life update type of video, so I'm gonna catch you guys up, get y'all up to speed about what's been going on in my life, and you know, just how to get through losing someone who's very close to you, and just some words of advice and encouragement. So first and foremost, I'm going to reintroduce myself because it's been so long. It's embarrassing. But I'm Hadijah Njai. I am 22 years old, about to be 23 next month. Jordan year, gang gang. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, and I recently graduated from Georgia State University. So yeah, that's pretty much me for all my new subscribers. I apologize for being gone so long, but I did have a very rough ending of 2019 and the whole of 2020 as a lot of people can relate. So I just couldn't really get myself to get back on camera, but I'm good now. You know, I'm in a good place, and I feel like I can talk about this now without bursting into tears and actually hold myself together. So yeah. So in October of 2019, I lost my little sister very, very suddenly. Like, I don't even know. Yeah, like it was super sudden, super unexpected, and it was a rough time for me and my family, especially because she was the youngest and she was my only sister. And you know, that bond that you just have with your sister is just like unlike no other. She was the life of every party. She was the life of the house. Like, her energy was just unmatched, and it left a huge void in our family. So it was really hard for me to stay consistent with YouTube and just get into regular life. And then, you know, we got into a pandemic and everything just went kapasad.
Well, shit.
Like, everything just went left. But I'm here to give you guys a few tips on how to deal with grief and how to get back on with life after losing someone that's, you know, very near and dear to you. And in the beginning, nobody could really tell me anything because I was so hurt and so upset. And I know it doesn't make it easier when, like, you know someone's gonna die, like if they're sick, for example, or, you know, if they were in an accident and, you know, they're in a coma or something. That, it's still traumatic, don't get me wrong, but I feel like when it happens and you had no forewarning, like this person was healthy, she was energetic, she was fine, like nothing was wrong with her. I spoke with her the night before. I told her that I was coming down to bring her some dried mangoes from Trader Joe's because she loves anything with tahini on it. I used to live on campus, so she was at home with my parents, and I always come home every Friday because I don't have classes on Fridays. So I spoke with her the night before and I told her, you know, I'm coming tomorrow. I'll bring your snacks. And she's like, okay, yeah, no problem. Like, we had a normal conversation. And then the next morning, you know, I get a call that she's gone. She passed away in her sleep. She just didn't wake up. And that was one of the hardest, actually not even one of, that was the worst day of my life. It was I said I wasn't gonna cry on camera and I'm not going to. But it was the worst day of my life because before my mom had my sister, I was 8 years old when she was born, and I had two brothers and they were born back to back. Like, they're 13 months apart. They were the most hard-headed boys ever. Like, I don't care what nobody says. My brothers, to this day, they're hard-headed. So imagine when they were like 2 and 3. But yeah, so when my mom told me she was having another baby, I was like, if this is not a girl, I'm moving out. She's like, where are you gonna go? I'm like, out. Like, I'm not gonna live in this house anymore. But thankfully it was a girl, and just from day one, like, she was always special. Like, she had a dimple. None of us have dimples. She, you know, her hair was longer than all of ours. Like, I was like, sis, how is this fair? And everyone who knows her just knows how funny and how extra and how hyper she is. Like, she was honestly just such a joy and such a light to have. And, you know, it's been a real adjustment because her presence was so strong, but it wasn't always like this. Like, I wasn't always calm enough to be able to talk about it, and I feel like it takes time. You know, some people try to rush their grief, and that's one of the worst things you can do, because you can try to hide it and try to act like, you know, I'm okay, I'm fine, when you're really not fine. And it's okay to not be fine. And I feel like more people need to accept that it's okay to not be fine. You know how everyone is trying to just like hide their emotions and just act like, you know, everything's Gucci and behind closed doors they're a mess. Like, no, it's okay to show your emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to scream. It's okay to say that it's not fair. You know, because that's how I was when it first happened. I was like, this is not fair. Like, why wasn't it me? And I kept saying that. I'm like, it should have been me. Like, I'm already grown. She's just a child. And she didn't even get the chance to go to high school yet. Like, she was in 8th grade. She, you know, didn't get to go to prom, homecoming. Like, these are all things that I think about. And I try to not dwell on it too much, because if I do, I'm just gonna be a mess and nothing is ever gonna make sense. So yeah, it's been really hard, but I have a few tips that I'm gonna give you guys that got me through it and are still getting me through it, because it's just not like a one-day thing. It's not like a 1 month thing. It's not even a 1 year thing. Like, it's been almost 18 months and I still have days where I don't want to get out of bed. I have days where I cry and nobody can console me. Like, I'm just crying, I'm angry, I'm upset, I'm sad. And there are days where I'm good, like today. Great, haven't shed a tear today. But that doesn't mean that tomorrow I won't be on the floor crying, you know? So I'm gonna give you some tips that kind of help me just deal with it and just accept that it's a part of life, and that it was already, you know, written in the stars that she wasn't gonna be here past 13 years. And it's just something that I have to live with. One main thing that has helped me a lot is journaling. I have always loved to write ever since I was a little kid. Like, even when I'm angry, I write. That's like my outlet. That is what helps me relieve stress. Like, if I'm stressed out and I have a lot on my shoulders and a lot is weighing down on me, I write it out. And it feels like I've breathed a sigh of relief. Like, okay, I'm okay now. And it can be anything. Like, you could type it, you could write it, but I personally like to handwrite stuff. So journaling, just write all your feelings, all your emotions, don't hold back, and just make sure to be as thorough as possible. Like, for me, I could sit and write 3 pages in like 10 minutes because I just let everything out. I don't try to, okay, should I say this? No, this is your journal that you don't have to share with anyone. It's yours and you can write anything you want in here. Put it in a safe place so nosy people won't try to read it. And just write it out. Write your whole heart out. Write all your emotions out. This one is pretty cute. I got it from Marshall's. It opens up like this, and I just wrote feelings journal. Put all your feelings in one place, and that way you don't feel like you just have all these emotions pent up inside of you. And another thing I like to do is reading. I love to read. I've always loved to read, but like, you know, growing up, you just don't have time, especially trying to be an adult. You don't have time for like your favorite pastimes. Just dedicating about 20 minutes to reading a book, just that's like your me time. You take that 20 minutes, you turn off your phone, turn off the TV, turn off any distractions, and just read. And I promise you, it'll make you feel so much better, because it's like you're in your own world. You're just reading, and like, especially if it's like a really captivating book, sometimes it's hard to put it down in the 20 minutes, but at least 20 minutes a day, take it and make it me time. Whether you meditate, whether you pray, whether you read, do whatever you want, but those 20 minutes are just yours. You'll have something to look forward to every day, and I promise you it's gonna help, because your mind won't be swimming with your own thoughts. You'll be so involved in what's going on in the book that for a short period of time, you'll forget what was stressing you or forget what was making you upset. Number 3, praying. And if you don't believe in God, you just skip past this part. But when all this happened, I can say that I was angry with God. For those of you that don't know, I'm Muslim, and I was born into a Muslim family. My family is pretty religious. So for me to be angry with God and then stop praying, that was like a big no-no. Like, you don't do that. But it's like when you go through something so traumatic and you have no answers for it, you just feel like, okay, why did this happen? And why was this allowed to happen? You know, you start to ask these questions, and yeah, it was really hard to find God again. And one thing that my mom told me that's kind of stuck with me is that one of two things happen when you go through something traumatic like a death in the family. It either pushes you closer to God, which it did for her, or it pushes you further away from God, and that's what it did for me. And I'm not proud of it, because, you know, I do believe in God, and I feel like the times where you're going through, you know, your darkest moments, that's when you're supposed to cling to God more, and I didn't do that. I was just really angry, and I was upset, and I just couldn't understand why it had to be her, you know. But with time, everything heals, and I stopped trying to figure out why things happen and just tried to accept it. So that was a big thing. I just tried to accept it, and sometimes it's still hard to accept it, because, you know, I see something or hear something or smell something that triggers me, and I'm just like, oh my God. But it's very important to, like, if you're a religious person, it's very important to continue praying, and just knowing that God always has a bigger plan behind the scenes, and you just don't know about it yet, but it's already gonna happen. You just don't know. So in order to accept, you know, the hand that you're dealt, you're going to have to trust the process and just believe that God has a bigger and better plan for you. And since then, obviously, I've started praying again. I've started, you know, being a better Muslim and just trying to live my life. And I still think about my sister every single day. Every single day. Not a day goes by that I don't think about her. But I know that just the way that she was, she would not have wanted me to just throw my life away and not live because she's not here anymore. I try to live by that every day, Like, you know, what would Lala want me to do? Because she was always just so motivational, so inspirational. Like, she was only 13, but like she spoke as if she was 30. I just try to live by her. Praying is definitely very important because God will get you to a place where you can accept what happens and then move on from it without losing it. I'm not saying it's gonna be easy for everyone to just like find God, wake up and find God one day. Like, no. It took me about a year and some weeks after she passed to actually start continuously praying 5 times a day, every single day. And it might take longer for some people, but just know that it's okay. We are not all the same. And if it takes you longer to get back to praying, get back into a routine, get back into doing what you were doing before, you know, that traumatic experience happened, it's okay. And I just want to normalize people saying that it's okay, you know? It's all right to be a mess. It's all right to not have it together. But as long as you're making a conscious effort to try to get better, that's all that matters. Okay, another one. Making sure that you have at least one person that you can always talk to about anything. Whether that be a boyfriend, a girlfriend, a best friend, a cousin, just somebody who you know won't judge you and somebody who you know will always be there for you no matter what. That's very important because when you don't have it together, you need a support person. It's very important. And I hope and pray that everyone has at least one person that they could call at any time and know that that person will answer. It's honestly amazing. I have friends that check on me. I have friends that, you know, just want what's best for me. And I can't thank them enough because without some of them, I probably wouldn't have graduated if it wasn't for some of my friends because I fell off after my sister passed away. Like, I felt like my life didn't have a purpose. I felt like I didn't have anything to live for. I was just like, what am I doing here in this life? But I have friends and I have cousins that are just amazing. And I wish I could name all of you guys, but I love you and you know who you are. And I can't thank y'all enough. So having a support person or people is very, very important, and I hope that you are able to find one or two. Once you find people who just love you no matter what and are willing to do anything for you, you found a great thing. It's very important to have people that you trust, have people that you love by your side at all times. Like, I have friends that if I needed them would drop everything and like come see me, you know? And I feel like that's very important and just very, you know, it warms my heart because when I was younger, I never really had friends that I would say like cared about me that much. Like, I wasn't really one of those people who had a big group of friends and like just friends that would go above and beyond for me. I never really had that. But growing up, I found some true friends and most of them are actually like family, but you know, I'm grateful that I found them and they know that I would do more than, you know, what I have to for them, just for them to be happy. Enough sappy stuff, okay? Self-care. Self-care is very important and I used to take it for granted. I never really used to take time for myself. Like, I was always, I feel, living for other people and always doing stuff for other people, but I was never really doing anything for myself that would benefit me and like my mental health. But recently, not even recently, like last year, I just started making time for myself and kind of being selfish with my time. Like, if I didn't want to go somewhere, I wouldn't go. Before, I used to feel obligated to go to everything that someone invited me to, or go to, like, just to please someone else, just to go and do stuff that they wanted to do, but maybe not what I wanted to do. Last year and like the beginning of this year, I've just started being more selfish with myself because I'm only one person and the only person that I have to make happy is myself. And if that meant turning down invitations or cutting off certain people or just realizing that you don't need everyone's energy and opinions in your life, you're gonna live such a happier life. I'm telling you that for free. This is free game right here. Be aware of the company that you keep because it's a reflection of you. Ultimately, getting massages, getting your nails done, getting your lashes done, going to get a pedicure. These are all things that you can do for yourself, and it'll make you just feel so much better because you're spending time with yourself. It's just me time and just appreciating your body and just being in a great state to perform all the tasks that you need to do or like go to school. And it's just a great way to relax and just bring yourself back down and just center yourself again. Yeah, so self-care is very important, and it's something that you need to take the time for and actually make a priority, because no one can love you like you love yourself. And it's very important that you love yourself and make time for yourself and appreciate yourself, because no one is you, and that's your superpower. You are the only you in this world. And once you tell yourself that and believe it and accept it, you're automatically just going to be a better version of yourself. If I'm able to help like just one person, I am eternally I'm grateful, because I love helping people, and I love knowing that I've helped someone get through a rough time, or that I've helped someone be a better version of themselves. So these tips and tricks that I've given you guys on how to deal with grief can also be applied to different aspects of life as well. For example, like a breakup. If you've gone through a breakup and you just feel so out of it and just not yourself anymore, that's also a loss. Like, don't let anybody tell you differently. Like, when you go through a breakup, especially with someone you've been with and, you know, thought that that was your person and that, you know, we in this, you know, this is my husband, this is my wife, like, you know, and when you break up with that person, it's like, damn, you know, you feel like you've lost a piece of yourself. But number one piece of advice is to always make sure that you put yourself first. You should have been putting yourself first in a relationship, but in the breakup, you should definitely put yourself first and take the time that you need to grieve that relationship. So write in a journal, read a book, meditate, take a day to just dedicate it to yourself, clear your schedule, and just be by yourself. Like, it's important to understand that you are okay without that other person. Just allow yourself to go through the motions. Like, for me, one thing about me is that when I'm going through something, or if I'm upset or if I'm angry, I like to just allow myself to feel those emotions. Like, feel the anger, feel the sadness, cry, scream, do whatever it takes to just feel those emotions, and then I move on from it. Don't dwell on negativity, because it's just going to put a damper on your day and on your life if you let it go on for too long. But definitely take the time that you need to feel those emotions. And then once you've allowed yourself that time, then continue to do things that make you happy. And I know when you're going through something and people are like, it'll be okay, it'll be okay. I hate that. I hate it. Like, let me feel like it's not gonna be okay. Just let me be in my feelings. And then once I'm ready to be motivated, then motivate me. But when I'm going through it, don't tell me it's gonna be okay. It doesn't feel like it's gonna be okay. It'll be okay. Whether it's a breakup, whether it's a death, whether it's just anything that we go through in life, any disappointments that we go through in life, everything will work itself out. We just don't know how yet, but I promise you that it will. So I'm gonna wrap this video up here. And I know I said it was gonna be a life update video, but I just ended up just rambling as I usually do, so please forgive me. But I do have other videos and content planned for you guys, and I plan on executing it, and I will be on my grind. And if I'm not, I need every single one of you guys watching this video to hold me accountable. Whether that's getting in my DMs like, Khadijah, where's the video? Or in my comments or under previous videos like, Khadijah, here's the next video. like get on me, because I do tend to slack sometimes, but this time I'm definitely going to be holding myself accountable, and I will be posting content more regularly. I know you guys love the food videos. I know you love the cooking videos, so definitely more of those. And if you guys have any other suggestions on videos you want me to do, leave it down below, or you can DM me if you don't want it to be public or whatever for any reason. And yeah, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, share, and it's so great to be back. I missed you guys, and I missed interacting with you guys, and I can't wait to see, you know, where this year takes us. And I pray that it's a lot better than the last year because last year was a whole lot of, but by the grace of God, this year will be much, much better. And I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.